You only need to get these 5 things right to start a successful online business in 2026 and beyond. I've been making money online for the past 5 years and I've seen the industry change a lot. But if you're starting out, just the thought of making money online doing something you actually love feels almost forbidden. Like you're not supposed to be earning money, let alone more money than your day job. And I know that feeling because when I started, I tried multiple things and I failed for years. And when I watch other people succeed and they post their online earnings online, I felt jealous. I felt like a loser. Like, how come they can do it but not me? It feels unattainable. But what I've learned over the past 5 years is this. You'll never win the online business game if you keep copying what other people are doing. So if I had to start over from zero today, these are the only 5 things that I focus on in the next 7 days. I'm going to be breaking down each of those steps. And at the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to launch a successful online business that lasts and stands out from the competition. Okay, the first thing we got to do is to choose an in-demand business model that you vibe with. So if you ever thought about making money online, you probably have heard of some of these. So the first one is e-com or dropshipping. What that means is you have a website and then you drive traffic to the website so they can buy a product directly where you ship it to the customer. Now, the pros of this is that you can see on YouTube, there's so many people making a lot of money from e-com. But the cons, however, is that most of them fail. And the ones that do succeed, they have been doing this for years. They failed so many times. You have to have a lot of funds to test your ads to see which perform. So it's basically a paid ad game, which is not exactly what I want to do. It just doesn't excite me. Which brings me to the second business model, which is to become a content creator or influencer. This is exactly how I started my online presence. I was a personal finance content creator because it was a topic I genuinely like. Now the pros is that usually it's a lot of fun because you're talking about stuff you like. Once you get a little bit of traction, I got invited to give talks, invited to podcasts. It was very interesting. The cons, however, for a lot of influencers and content creators, a lot of them end up burning out and quit. In fact, there's this one story of Kumar Logan, a pretty famous Malaysian YouTuber who married an American, and they do all these skits around interracial family, what life is in Malaysia versus what life is in LA. I think that's where the wife is from. He accumulated around 700K subscribers, millions of views, and he just recently announced that he quit. It's not as profitable as I thought it was, and now he's back to a 9-to-5 job. The reason why you shouldn't be a content creator or influencer is because most of these guys, they don't really have an offer. They're just making fun videos. So they build an audience around entertainment. So the moment they try to sell something, it doesn't really work. Which brings me to the third business model that I tried, selling a course or digital products. So when I was an influencer, I made money from brand deals, promoting other people's products, affiliates. But then I started to, hey, I need to start selling something on my own. So I started to sell online course. At the time, I knew how to do all these digital marketing stuff, content creation, and that's the course that I built and sold it. I just read this book, Expert Secrets. I followed it exactly to a T, step by step. I packaged up my knowledge into a digital course. I had a website at the time, just dump it there, and I sold it to my email list. I made my first 1,500 USD, which is insane. I've never thought I could make that much money. The cons, however, of selling digital products or courses, during my first marketing campaign where I promoted the thing and I made that $1,500, I was over the moon. But then next month, I'm like, okay, nobody's buying the course. So I have to like promote the thing again. And the whole thing feels really tiring. To make it worse, if you want to grow your online course, you need to get testimonials, right? So when I contacted the people who bought the course and asked them, hey, can you leave a nice review? They all leave me really nice reviews, say, oh, this course was amazing, it really helped me, whatever. And then when I look at the stats, I can see that nobody watched my videos. So these people are all lying. So that's when I realized, hey, I can't build a business around digital course because most of these people don't even watch the videos in the first place. So it's very hard to get a positive feedback loop. So then I started my fourth business model, which is to become a marketing agency. At the time, I really knew how to do YouTube. So I was helping other business owners with their YouTube videos as well. Now, the pros is it's pretty easy to sign clients because usually agencies do done-for-you work. That means we do everything for you, all taken care of. That's why you can charge quite a lot, and it's very appealing to the business owner, right? But the cons is Think about that for a minute. Like, what kind of business wants everything taken care of? Proper business owners know that content creation is something intimate, right? I can hire help, but I need to do it. It's my thing. I'm the captain of my own ship, my personal brand. So when I was building somebody else's personal brand, I was doing their script, I was doing everything for them. It didn't feel right. Like, why am I doing this for you? You're the business owner. Shouldn't you be doing this? You can hire me for help, but I shouldn't be leading the way. Does that make sense? So then we move on to the fifth business model, which is to become a coach. I don't want to do it for you, but I want to guide you to do it. So the pros of this is that a lot of people aspire to become a coach because that's one of the pinnacle of online money. I mean, you build a personal brand, you have clients, blah, 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 make a lot of money, right? The cons, however, is that it's a hell of a lot of work than you would think. And I also personally have joined a lot of coaching programs, but they just don't deliver. When I joined, the coach was very arrogant, like, hey, I know everything, you listen to me. And I just didn't really want to learn from somebody with that vibe. Most people, when they hear coaching, they don't like it because they have been burned before. Which brings me to the sixth business model, which I think is the best business model in 2026 and beyond, which is called mentorship. Now, mentorship is different than coaching because mentorship is, hey, I'm this person, I'm trying to achieve this big goal, but I've achieved all this other stuff. People who are interested in your movement, they want to be like you, and you can teach them all the problems that you have overcome. Now, the pros of this is that you position yourself not as a guru, but as an attractive character on a mission to achieve a greater goal. Some people would resonate with that goal and they want to join your movement. And the cool thing about this business model is that you don't need to be super famous to start selling. Like, I only have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, but the people below me prefer to work with me rather than somebody who's already big, because the guy who's already big, they don't understand what a newbie is going through. But if I'm around 4,000, they feel more connected with me. Does that make sense? Now, the cons of a mentorship is the only way you can attract people to want to pay you without a lot of subscribers. The secret is to just be yourself online. Now, that sounds very simple and woo-woo a little bit, but if I'm honest with you, I've been working with a lot of clients. It's very hard for people to become themselves online. And that's exactly what I help in my mentorship. Okay, so best business model moving forward, mentorship. Let's move on to section number 2. What are you gonna sell? So when it comes to mentorship or coaching, a lot of people want to sell their most expensive thing, which is usually a one-to-one experience with the client. That's where you can charge a few $1,000s, and it just makes sense to start there. But when I started, I realized that a lot of people, maybe they're interested in working with me, but they're not ready to pay my most expensive one-to-one. Then I started panicking because nobody's buying my stuff. Then I launched another offer, which is unrelated. Now I do websites for people or thumbnails for people, all these random stuff, right? And it's really hard to keep track of all this, and you start to panic, right? So what you should be doing instead is this thing called offer proximity. Basically, you're selling the same thing, which is mentorship. You help people to become like you, basically, but you're selling them different levels access to you. So I'm going to show you this diagram that I learned from somebody. So at the bottom here will represent the least access to you, which is the cheapest, and at the very top is the most access to you, which is the most expensive. So I have done every levels of access here. The level 1 here is digital assets. If you sell a template, you can sell this for like $5, $50. The highest I've sold was $69 for some sort of SOP. So that one, they pay once, they never interact with you. Then above that, you have one-off consults. When I had a video pop off, they really liked me. They had this problem. They felt like I could help them. They don't need my one-to-one. They just need to get unstuck somewhere. So they book a one-off consultation with me. A layer above that would be a group cohort. Hey, join my group cohort. Together in a group for 2 months or something, we're gonna achieve this thing together. Some people don't wanna be in a group. They want one-to-one mentorship. Then at the very top, you will get people who want, hey, I want you to do this for me because I don't want other people. I like you, I want you to do it. This is where I can help them with websites. I can charge a few $1,000s for that. Also partnership deals. So if you can help them get clients, they would kick back some commission back to you. That's an example of a partnership. All right, so now you know what to sell. The next thing you want to know is how can we stand out online so people want to buy that from you specifically and not other people. The biggest mistake I've done was I joined all these coaching programs and then they told me, oh, you got to market yourself like this, you got to brand yourself like this, your offer needs to be this certain way. If I follow that advice, then I end up looking exactly like the other people. I look exactly like the marketing bro and exactly like the coach that I paid for. The whole point of marketing is to get attention, and the easiest way to get attention is to be different. You don't get attention by blending in, right? Here's a very interesting story. When I was in the agency coaching program, a lot of it was a bunch of young guys, like 20 something. Luckily, I look young, but at the time I was really embarrassed to let people know my age and also that I had 2 kids, because I thought they would judge me because like, hey, Helmi, you're 37. What are you doing? You should have your life figured out by now. So I was really embarrassed to let people know. But little did I know that embracing your backstory, embracing your movement, your flaws is actually what makes you unique. That's exactly how you stand out. So if you look at my content now, me being a solopreneur founder while being a father is front and center in my content. I share the struggles of what it's like being a founder, starting a business in my bedroom with 2 kids. There's a lot of challenges. And lo and behold, when I make these kind of content, I tend to attract people who are similar values. And guess what? Most of my clients now, they're around my age and they have small children. What are the odds? When you tune into your frequency, you attract the opportunity in the similar frequency as you. To stand out online, you gotta lean into your backstory. Don't hide your flaws. Don't hide your past mistakes. Those are actually your superpower to stand out online. All right, the next thing we gotta figure out is content creation. We need to get traffic to our offer and to ourselves. So the first question some might ask is, should I do video, text, or pictures? Let's go back to the original intent of marketing. What's the point of us doing all this? To create content is to get attention, right? Because when we get attention, they can see what we're trying to sell. But what is the easiest way to get attention? Is by being different. And what is the easiest way to do that? Is by storytelling videos, because you want them to feel something. Now, the second question that some people might ask is, which platform should I focus on? Should I do YouTube? Should I do Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn? A lot of gurus say, hey, just focus on YouTube because it's evergreen. Or just focus on LinkedIn or whatever, right? I disagree with that, and here's why. You're putting all your eggs into one basket, which is extremely risky. So if you're starting out, to gain traction on YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever, it takes a lot of time. If you just focus on one platform and it doesn't take off, that means your business is gonna die. I get most of my clients from YouTube. I've got clients from LinkedIn. I've got clients from TikTok even, but I've never gotten clients from Instagram and Facebook. It never really worked out for me. So I think the moral of the story is the platform doesn't really matter, because the storytelling framework that I teach would resonate with people regardless of the platform. But in an ideal world, YouTube is the best platform to focus on because it's just evergreen. But when you're starting out, it takes forever for it to gain traction. So in the meantime, if you don't do anything else, you're gonna die. What I do now is I create YouTube videos like the long form, and then from the long form, there's a bunch of mini stories in there. So I reshoot that for vertical short videos. And I use a software to post it everywhere on LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Instagram. And I get clients from all of these places. The next thing people always wonder is, what do I talk about in these videos? It's very simple. You don't teach a damn thing, because teaching videos are dead on arrival in 2026 because of AI. So the only videos that you should be doing is telling stories of all the problems that you have overcome. One problem, one video. That's it. All right, so now we're gonna focus on the last thing in this giant puzzle, which is your funnel. Now, what is a funnel? A funnel is a marketing system you install in your business to convert the views that you're gonna get into leads, customers, and clients. Now, in a traditional funnel, it will look something like this. You're gonna create free content. The free content will invite people, hey, join this email list, download this free resource, and then they're gonna end up in your email list. And that's where you can show your offers. So this is how a traditional marketing funnel functions at its simplest form. Now, the mistake that a lot of people do, and what I did, was that I followed all these coaches, and then they say, oh, you gotta have all these funnel here, you gotta do all this software and all this weird stuff, right? And it just overcomplicates everything. Like, you do not need a tripwire offer. You do not need an upsell offer. You do not need all these landing pages, this websites, this automation, all these fancy pants mumbo jumbo. You really don't need it. In fact, I've never closed a high ticket client from my emails. But if your video storytelling is so good, they would resonate with the video so much that they would email you like, hey, can we work together? And that's exactly how I got my clients. So a really good storytelling video can out-trump everything. You don't even need a funnel, technically. But I still do recommend you do one thing if you're starting out, which is to collect emails. That's it. Because the people in your email, they're interested in you to some level, and these are the first people you'll want to sell to whenever you're ready to sell your offer. I used to use some fancy software called Go High Levels, like $99 a month. It was just overkill, it's just too complicated. Now I'm using this thing called MailerLite. It's $7 a month. It collects emails for me, and I can do landing pages there. Simple. So let's recap. Number one, mentorship is the best business model moving forward in 2026. Number 2, offer. You're selling the same thing, but different level access to you. Number 3, to stand out online so people want to buy the thing from you specifically is to lean into your backstory. Number 4, the best way to drive traffic to your offers is through simple storytelling videos. And lastly, number 5, you don't need complicated funnels or software. You just need to be collecting emails at this time. Now you know the 5 things I'd focus on if I were to start my own business in 2026. If you want to see how this whole thing flow and work together to convert views to leads to your clients, watch this video next.